Mr. Incredible isn't just some suburban dad with biceps. This man's a walking tank. He's bench pressing trains, tanking explosions that can level city blocks. He's going toe to toe with killer robots that could shred tanks in seconds. Let's be real, Pixar physics can only protect you so much. So today we're asking the real question: which villains could actually beat Mr. Incredible? Breaking this down into 4 tiers. No shot, they can land a few punches, they can go 50-50 with him, or they can beat Mr. Incredible. So grab your super suit, leave the cape at home, and let's rank these maniacs. Bob Parr was one of the original supers, possessing the power of incredible superhuman strength. During the glory days, he spent most of his time doing superhero work, until he fell in love and got married to Elastigirl. He then retired, mostly because superheroes and vigilantism was made illegal, and he spent years working an ordinary job and living an ordinary life, until eventually a secret organization reached out to Bob to get him back into the superhero business. Bob eagerly joined up, without knowing he was actually falling into the trap of Syndrome, who swore revenge on all superheroes, especially Mr. Incredible. But it takes more than that to beat the Incredibles, the world's greatest superhero family. Mr. Incredible's main power is super strength, and he really is super strong. He's the strongest super that we've seen in any of the movies or in this whole world. He's able to lift over 50 tons as just a baseline. When he gets angry, or especially when his family's threatened, well, he can throw around even more. While Bob was trying to get himself back into shape, he was casually working out with whole train cars, making it look easy. He's the only hero that was strong enough to fight and beat the Omnidroid, then was able to overpower an upgraded, more powerful version of the same robot. He's regularly throwing around vehicles, lifting dozens of tons like it's easy, knocking out opponents with just one hit. And while he does have his limits, if his limit is struggling to lift a nuclear submarine, well then I would say he's pretty freaking strong. Mr. Incredible is also ridiculously tough. Some might say he's dang near invincible. He was completely unhurt by attacks from the Omnidroid, when that same robot had killed pretty much every other super out there. He was repeatedly ragdolled and thrown around by the robot, unfazed. Hit by a train, unfazed. Taken point-blank explosions, thrown through a building. He's been blasted by laser guns, survived hundreds of thousands of volts of electricity. Nothing seems able to put Mr. Incredible down for more than a few seconds. Mr. Incredible's also got a few decades of experience at the whole superhero game, so he knows a thing or two. He's a capable fighter, an expert at using his powers. He's actually a pretty good strategist, like tricking the Omnidroid into attacking itself. Starting off, Whiplash from Iron Man 2. Cool look, sick accent, dead on arrival. Yeah, his whips can carve through cars, and his arc reactor rig gives him a power boost, but Mr. Incredible is tossing cars for fun. Bob's durability feats make Whiplash look like a guy cosplaying. He's tanked explosions that can vaporize tanks and shrug them off like mild inconvenience. If Tony Stark could roast Whiplash with a palm beam, then Mr. Incredible could slap him in the next week with a single haymaker. Now we're heating up though, let's talk Spider-Man 3's Venom. Eddie Brock's symbiote form is a walking pile of nightmare goo. Super strength, webbing, wall crawling, regeneration. He's faster than he looks, hits harder than a wrecking ball, and takes punishment like he's allergic to dying. The thing is, Mr. Incredible matches that energy in raw power. He's ripped through reinforced walls, traded hits with the Omnidroid, and tanked building level impacts. The big difference, Venom's got agility and unpredictability. Bob's got discipline and way more tactical sense. This fight would be nasty. A straight up street brawl, with Venom slamming Bob through cars, while Bob's just trying to figure out how to punch slime. Venom's got regeneration on his side, but one sonic shock or well-timed thunderclap from Mr. Incredible, that symbiote's screaming. It could go either way, depends on if Venom keeps distance or if Mr. Incredible lands the knockout early. From one horror to another though, Jason Voorhees. Yeah, the shielding-wielding camping hazard himself. Now, Jason isn't strong because of gym time, he's strong because physics gave up on him decades ago. He's ripped people's heads clean off, punched through torsos, and survived everything from explosions to re-entry burns. Mr. Incredible outclasses him in technique and speed, sure, but Jason's an endurance monster. You can't kill him. You can blow him up, burn him, drown him, he'll respawn like a glitch in reality. So while Bob can definitely overpower Jason, it's not about strength, it's about stamina. Mr. Incredible tires, Jason doesn't. It's a slugfest that ends in a 50-50 because Bob wins the fight, while Jason wins the sequel. Next up, the Terminator T-800. Arnold in his prime, wrapped in metal, built to kill humans, not Pixar powerhouses. That said, this dude's no joke. He can punch through walls, tank explosions, and walk through gunfire like it's a light drizzle. His strength puts him above most normal supers, and his precision gives him a shot at catching Bob off guard. But once the fists start flying, the T-800's done. Mr. Incredible moves faster, hits harder, and improvises like no one else. The only thing keeping the Terminator in this fight is his refusal to stop, and Bob's durability can take that kind of punishment all day. The Terminator lands a few metal-crunching hits, but in the end, he's getting folded. Now let's talk Gru. Yeah, that Gru, the banana guy's boss. Gru's not built to throw hands, he's built to scheme. His real weapon isn't muscle, it's gadgets. Freeze rays, shrink guns, gravity gizmos, the whole shebang. Could he hurt Mr. Incredible? Maybe with the right weapon. Could he win? Only if Bob trips on a minion. Gru's durable for a human, sure, but not getting punched through a bus durable. This will be less a fight, more like a Looney Tunes skit, where Bob keeps breaking Gru's tech until he's just standing there holding duct tape. However, here we got Cheetah. Cheetah from the DCEU, that is. She's fast, like ridiculously fast. Trading hits of Wonder Woman, kind of fast. Her claws can tear through metal, she can leap stories high, and she hits hard enough to rattle god-tier beings. Mr. Incredible might be physically stronger, but if she blitzes him, he might not even get a chance to swing. Cheetah's biggest problem though is durability. She's not taking the same hits that Bob can. If he lands one clean counter, she's paced. But if she keeps moving, slicing, and dodging, Mr. Incredible might never get that shot. Alright, now time for the smiling psychopath, Homelander. If Mr. Incredible is the perfect superhero dad, Homelander is the guy who microwaves people for sneezing wrong. He's faster than jets, stronger than tanks, and durable enough to take missiles head on. He doesn't fight fair either. He'll laser Bob in half from across the battlefield, then smile for the cameras. Bob's raw power is massive, but he's grounded in physics. Homelander isn't. Even if Mr. Incredible tanks a few hits, he can't reach Homelander midair before being turned into barbecue. And now we're getting mystical, Darth Vader. At first glance, he's slow, he's a wheezing cyborg, and then he lifts you 10 feet in the air and crushes your windpipe without moving. Vader's strength is impressive on its own, tearing through starship doors, dueling Jedi, surviving explosions, but it's the Force that makes this unfair. He doesn't have to trade punches with Mr. Incredible. He can crush him from range, throw debris, or pin him midair. Even if Mr. Incredible charges in, Darth Vader can just precog the move and slam him into the ground. Darth Vader wins through control. The Force isn't magic, it's just a cheat code. And then there's Megatron, the Decepticon warlord himself, 30 feet of weaponized ego. Megatron's ripped tanks apart with his bare hands, tanked missiles that level city blocks, and fought Optimus Prime, who's casually multi-building level. Compared to that, Mr. Incredible's not all that much. Bob might dodge a few swings, maybe dent Megatron's armor, but once Megatron connects, that's it. You can't suplex a skyscraper-sized murder machine. Finally, the big one, Omni-Man. Imagine Superman with no moral restraint. He's flown through continents in seconds, tanked nukes, and punched people so hard they exploded. Even his casual hits flattened mountains. Mr. Incredible's peak feats top out at collapsing buildings. Omni-Man's feats top out at rewriting geography. Bob's got grit, experience, and heart, but that won't help when you're being dragged through a subway by a Viltrumite. However, let's finish this chaos with everyone's favorite acid-blooded nightmare, the Xenomorph. It's fast, stealthy, and strong enough to rip through steel. Its tail could slice, its claws could cut, and its acid blood could melt Mr. Incredible's suit clean off. But that's assuming it ever gets close. Mr. Incredible's reflexes are pretty dang fast, and his durability laughs at explosions that would vaporize the Xenomorph. If the alien gets a drop on him, maybe it draws blood, but if Bob notices it first, one backhand and it's a pile of alien mush. Mr. Incredible might be one of the strongest animated heroes ever, but against literal gods, aliens, and walking death machines, even the world's best dad can only carry so much. Because sometimes it's not about how strong you are, it's about who's willing to turn the whole planet into a punching bag. He's Mr. Incredible, but even he's got a limit.